the Professional Bowlers Association, and Killer Bee Promotions present a unique bowling experience. 42nd Street and Park Avenue in Midtown Manhattan. Welcome to Grand Central Terminal, the largest train station in the world. Opened in 1871 as the Grand Central Depot, rebuilt in 1913 as Grand Central Terminal, and beautifully restored in the year 2000. Welcome to Vanderbilt Hall for the 2011 Teen Masters, just off the Grand Central Terminal main concourse, named for Vanderbilt family, who built and originally named and owned the station. 750,000 people a day move through this terminal, and they are here today to see the 2011 Teen Masters Girls High School semifinals. Hundreds of the best teen bowlers took advantage of this challenge. Only 2 strike balls, only 2 lane patterns. You are looking live at number 1 seeded Elise Bolton and the number 6 seed, Rachel Vaughn. They will do battle in best of 2 action here in an unbelievable setting, Grand Central Terminal. And welcome inside Grand Central Terminal, Mike J. Laneside alongside 16-time PBA Tour champ Jason Couch and the Professor Ron Hickland from Ebonite. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
How are you, Michael? It's good to see you once again.
And it's good to be here, gentlemen. The details of the match, best of 2. Top seed Elise Bolton has decided to bowl on the long pattern. Ron, what you got in the back?
Well, let's talk a little bit about the long pattern. As you can see here, this is a screenshot of what they're actually bowling on. They're bowling on a brand new SPL surface. That pattern is 44 feet, I want to say?
42.
42 feet. 42 feet in length. This right here is an example of kind of where you're going to see Elise play in the lane. Basically, the concept here is to get the ball fairly straight through the pattern and then make a move and then kind of lay there a little bit. You don't want the ball to be too aggressive, because if it's too aggressive off the end of the pattern, you're going to get in some trouble really early. Looking at our bowling ball, she's throwing a Ebonite Mission 2.0. This is kind of the layout of that ball. You can see this is a much different layout than the last 2 players were using. She's actually got a pin under 4 3/4 inch pin. With a mass biased pin to PAP at 45 degrees and the pin to VAL distance at 70 degrees. What that's going to do for her is get her a ball motion that will kind of begin to pick up in the mid lane and then give her some continuation down lane.
Without question, and what you're basically doing is you've got more of a lengthened pattern. You're looking to generate some roll, but you also don't want that ball to change directions down lane. That's why she's going with the pin below the fingers instead of going above.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at this great bowling facility installed specially for Grand Central Terminal here at Vanderbilt Hall, 42nd and Park Ave, as we take a look at the facility here. And Elise Bolton has elected as the number 1 seed to start the match. She's also chosen the long pattern.
I'm bouncing between 3 and 4, and I got nothing.
So Elise there on the right, Rachel Vaughn tossing on the left. We've already had 1 finalist for the girls' high school division, and that is Gabriella Mayfield. 2nd seed defeated 5th seeded Melanie Hannon. You just saw it live on Extra Frame. 2 games and none. This is best of 2 match play, Jason. A very different format.
Oh, without question, Mike, especially if we get to one of these matches today where you have Elise maybe win the first one and then Vaughn win the second one. It goes to sudden death, buddy. If you're tied up, you better throw a strike. You could be out of here.
So 2 and out is the way to go, the quickest. 1 and 1, and we have a roll-off. The number 1 seed has chosen the pattern, and she's elected to go first.
I like that. I know Elise feels very confident about her game right now, and she would like to get out there and get strong. And I don't know if you noticed, but these girls only live about maybe 45 miles apart, so they've bowled together quite a bit.
Rachel Vaughn, originally from Atlanta, now living in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Elise Bolton in Melbourne, Florida. Vaughn just 16 years old. Her high game, 289. High series, 726. Finds herself in a semifinal best of 2 against a bowler whose resume is about as long as that red carpet. Elise Bolton has done it all in the USA, junior play, Team USA. As you look at the special lane installation here at Grand Central Terminal, human pin setter. And our first shot off the hand is a good one. Strike for Vaughn. Or is this the last practice shot?
I think they're just finishing up their practice, yeah, because I think Elise is going to start the match.
Elise will start. That was the last practice ball for Vaughn, and now Bolton will start off the match. 18 years old, living in Merritt Island, Florida. Second semifinal opening shot.
I think that's still practice. Here we go.
Oh, now we're rolling. All right.
You know us guys, Mike, as we get older, we kind of don't pay attention anymore.
And I forget, bowlers will always go for that last practice shot when given the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Now we rock and roll. Mike J. Laneside alongside Jason Couch. Ron Hicklin, the bowling doctor, also on hand. And now 18-year-old Elise Bolton will open up this best of two semifinal match, opening shot. And kick of the 10-pin. Strike for Bolton to get things started here. Our first official look at Rachel Vaughn.
This is Rachel Vaughn's layout. Actually, she's got a much different layout. It's a 5 1/4 inch pin from the PAP. And basically what you're going to see here is a ball motion that's a little longer and a little smoother. She's actually going for a little more controlled layout. Therefore, that gives her a little bit more control of the lane.
Vaughn opens up. Jason Couch, the ladies are striking. Long pattern, 2 strikes.
You know, I think they both made great decisions on what they wanted to throw today. They both look comfortable on the longer pattern. As we saw in that shot there, that Vaughn is definitely playing a little further to the inside than Elise.
Got a great crowd assembled here in the rush hour, folks, starting to walk through Grand Central Terminal. Bolton up. First of 2 games, best of 2. Strike up, second frame. That one comes up a bit short, 2-4-5.
You know, they both look very comfortable today, Michael, and we could see some really good scores here if they maintain their composure and stay as comfortable as they look.
Elise says she's going to Sam Houston State University, so that Ebonite $64,000 scholarship would come in handy. That will go to the overall winner between the boys and the girls champions tomorrow. Spare for Bolton, and important to remember that only 2 strike balls are allowed in this competition, the Mission 2.0 and the Ebonite hardball.
And going with the longer pattern for this match, you can definitely tell that the girls wanted the cover stock that rolls a little earlier between the 2 balls.
Rachel Vaughn on a strike, second frame, 16 years old. Big exaggerated follow through, chases it through, but 10-pin. Great shot though.
You gotta do something to free that camera up for him. He's getting too bouncy.
Rachel Vaughn would have a laundry list of schools, possibly Robert Morris, McKendree, Lindenwood, or Vanderbilt. All great bowling schools. Confident stroke and spare for Rachel Vaughn. The strikes will get you there, but the spares will fill the frames.
Definitely got to pay the rent with those filled frames.
You know, bowling on a tougher pattern like it is out here, that's going to be the key, is going to be able to make those spares. You know, I mean, that's the way it always is when you guys are bowling on Tour J. I mean, you know, strikes for show, but spares for dough.
That's exactly right.
Bolton finished 9th at the 2019 Masters, 3-time member of Team USA, working on a spare in the 3rd. And then they all fall down for Elise Bolton. Taking on the 16-year-old Rachel Vaughn, Port St. Lucie, Florida, originally from Atlanta. She goes to St. Lucie West Centennial, graduates 2012. 3rd frame, spare strike so far.
Definitely look a little inside of target on that one. Right to the spare ball.
30th in junior gold in 2010. Named the top 100 high school prospects by Bowler's Journal in both 10 and 11. Wraps it around, so our first open frame look at the scoreboard. This is the first game. Best of 2. A player has to go 2-0 to win the match. In the event of 1-1, we'd have a sudden death roll-off to see who advances. Elise Bolton now ball in hand, opportunity at the first double of this match.
Great opportunity for Elise right here with an open frame. Great shot.
Yep. Ball gets right to the end of the pattern, makes an aggressive move, and then holds pocket really nice.
So Bolton with the first double in this best of 2. An encouraging nod from Mr. Ebonite over there, Mike Calderon. So take a look at Vanderbilt Hall, just off the main Grand Central Terminal entrance on 42nd Street. 4th frame for Vaughn. That one's going to creep high and pays the penalty, 3-6-7-10.
Yep, she's got to get that ball a little further right. And then when she was closer to the pocket, she was setting that ball down around 14, getting it to around 11, and the ball would just kind of face up right in the pocket. That ball definitely inside a target there. This is the second one in the row she's done. She's got to get it a little further right.
Yeah, I would totally agree. She just hasn't gotten to the spot at all the last 2 shots.
Back-to-back open frames now, 54 in the 4th for Rachel Vaughn.
You know, just to give you people some idea on what kind of heat is in here, it's got to be mid-80s at the lovely Vanderbilt Hall, but there is also no hand dryer on the lane because there's no ball return. So a lot of pressure and a lot of heat on these girls today.
Bolton chases it, gets rid of the 10, but back-to-back same split, 3-6-7.
You know, you're right about that too, Jason. And the lights, the lights are playing a little role in the heat too. So, the girls are probably going to experience some transition on the lanes as a result of the lights and the heat in the building.
Now I'm hoping that they would have made some sort of adjustments in the practice to know if these balls start to go too early, maybe they go to the hard ball. Slide.
Oh, kicked it around, but open frame. First open frame for Bolton. 95 open now. And a 21-pin lead for Elise Bolton. We are halfway through, just about halfway through our first game. 5th frame now for Vaughn. This is the best of 2. Back-to-back opens. Vaughn looking to get back on track here. 5th frame. And again coming up high. Avoids the split this time. Rachel Vaughn wants to be a pro bowler on the men's tour. She lists Norm Duke and Kelly Kulick as her favorite players, looking to make an impact on the men's tour is Miss Vaughn. Jason?
I see that on her resume. Just to give you guys an idea at home just how hot it can be. A normal bowling center with the air conditioning, the lane temperature would be 70 to 72 degrees. As John Janowitz told us from Kegel Corporation just a minute ago, that the temperature on the lane right now is between about 85 and 87 degrees. Tad bit warmer, which means they're going to break down a tad bit quicker.
So both players now in open frames. Bolton elected to start this match. Now opening up in the 6th. That ball creeps up high, and we may be seeing an instance of the lane breaking down pretty quickly under the heat you mentioned.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. Have to either shell down or chase it further left a little quicker.
Bill O'Neill is Elise Bolton's favorite PBA bowler.
Bowling Doctor, do you seeing the same thing out there that we're seeing right now?
Pretty much, Jason. I'm seeing the same thing.
So Bolton picks up the spare. She leads by 32 pins. Again, best of 2. You don't want to get behind Elise Bolton, but you do have the thought that if you lose game 1, the pin count doesn't matter. It's game match play. Best of 2 going forward.
And it is definitely warm in here.
got an adjustment there. Strike for Vaughn, first since the first frame.
Good shot for Rachel. That threw it good. Nice roll on it.
Elise Bolton finished 17th at the Queens in 2011, and she finished 25th at the recent Women's U.S. Open. Up by 32, spare up, 7th frame. And consistently coming across the head pin on the high side. Time for a move, Doc.
Yep. You can see the lane. This pattern goes through a lot of transition and a lot of change, and the heat is amplifying that. So got to figure out how this surface is going to play, how much it's going to open up. And it's the first time we're seeing the long pattern on it, so this is going to be new to everybody.
You can see the folks, the commuters in the background passing from the main terminal of 42nd Street. And Bolton now on the spare. Rachel Vaughn, 16 years old, enjoys shopping, playing some golf, and shooting a little stick. Little pool.
Nothing wrong with that. I don't want to challenge her.
Now, big shot here in the match, 7th frame. She can double and cut into the Bolton lead here in game 1. Confident stroke, and they all fall down.
That's a scoreboard here, Mike J. Bolton 114 in the 6th, spare up in the 7th, and Vaughn with the big double, but 63 in the 5th.
Rachel Vaughn just cut the lead to 21 pins. And Elise Bolton had better find her strike ball. She's been high the last several. Just one lane configuration. So you can't go to your good lane. Same thing.
It's one of these things on this pattern, because it's longer, they're afraid to let it go and get it to the right. But in practice, that probably wouldn't come back. But at this point right now, the way the lane's changing so much and the friction window is open up so much in the front of the lane, you can probably throw it to the right. It's definitely going to read. But they're really hesitant to do that, just because in practice, if they did that, it was not coming back.
One of two choices here: move in with the same ball, or shell down and go back to the right.
Yeah, depending on whether you're good enough to throw it away from the head pin.
Good spare shooter. Pick up the spares until the strike ball comes along. But now Rachel Vaughn can step up and cut into the lead and cut it down to just single pins.
Love seeing the pin boys and pin girls back there, Mike J, doing the setting, as we can see them down there, hand setting the pins.
It's that classic old school hand setup device. The largest train station in the world. Vaughn can cut it to single pins with a strike in the 8th. No break on the cross.
Shouldn't be any problem making the spare, Michael. I just think that they're both still trying to feel it out, being the first match, and unsure of what they want to do just yet.
Spare for Vaughn, and 20-pin lead for Bolton. And here is Elise Bolton. Wants to be a journalist or a model when she grows up, and thankfully most journalists are models these days, so lanes being drawn and blurred between news and entertainment, so Elise probably got a career. Plus 20, 9th frame, game 1. Much better shot.
I don't think she really moved, boys. I think she just finally got it right down lane, and that ball, as we like to say, sucked up the back.
This is a best of 2 match, so Rachel's not out of the water. She would like to pick up her strike line, though. 9th frame on a spare.
I definitely wonder what the strategy was for going with the long here, because usually you figure girls lower rev rate unless Elise just figured she could outhook it, and she had an advantage on the long. But really don't interested to hear what the strategy was of picking the longer pattern.
Knowing Elise that I do, I really think that she wanted to see lower scores. She likes lower scores.
Grind.
So she wanted to see a grind. That's why she picked the longer pattern.
Figured she'd 9 spare and be more consistent hitting the pocket.
Spare for Vaughn.
It is the Mika Koivuniemen theory of make them tough and grind it out.
33-pin lead for Elise Bolton entering the 10th frame. She can put it away and get some information as we look at the young man with the I Love New York t-shirt reminding us we are bowling where bowling has not gone before. Vanderbilt Hall at Grand Central Terminal. A special lane has been built. PBA and Killer Bee Promotions bring you the 2011 Team Masters. Elise Bolton can take it with a strike. Game 1 of the 2-game match. Yep, that'll do it. Gives her 180. Best Vaughn can do is 179. So Elise Bolton now, Doc, has an opportunity to pick up a spare and maybe do something a little different with the strike ball here.
Oh, I think without question, Mike, I think if she does make the spare here, which she should, I think she should fish around with maybe going to the weaker hard ball and maybe getting more into that friction down lane.
So spare for Bolton, and we'll see what she does here. She has the match game in hand and an opportunity to pick up some information. As the doc always says, when you have the opportunity, always go for the info.
Get that free info. It is very, very valuable.
I think she's going to stay. Yeah, she's going to stay with the Mission 2.0. Just wondering if she's going to make some sort of move right here. Looks like she's moving in with her feet.
A little more angle, a little deeper.
Yep, absolutely.
And that was a feeler for sure.
So Elise Bolton, 192, a Game 1 winner. This is a best-of-2 match. And now on the flip side, Doc, Rachel's out of it, but the pin count doesn't matter. She can also do the same thing and try to find something.
Same deal. Get some free info.
She also moves inside a little bit, but that doesn't matter. The game has already gone to Bolton. Rachel trying to fish around to find something here in Game 2. Live extra frame coverage, 2011 Teen Masters. Girls High School Division. Winner advances to tomorrow's live championship match. The girls' overall winner will face the boys' overall winner for an Ebonite $64,000 scholarship tomorrow live on Extra Frame. And again, Doc, that's an information shot.
Absolutely. No point shooting that spare. No benefit to it. More benefit throwing that strike ball.
It's a smart play from Vaughn and Bolton
Yep.
as they try to feel things out a little bit. Mike J. Laneside alongside the bowling doctor, Jeff Mark, who's always got the front 5.
Ah, yes, Mike J.
Professor Ron Hicklin is here from Ebonite, and Jason Couch, 16-time PBA Tour titleist. Very interesting, as both ladies kind of felt it out. Bolton had the advantage, and then both of them at the end, when the match was over, decided to go fishing.
Well, and as they should. I know they both felt comfortable. Towards the end of that game, what was going to happen, that's the smart thing to do, is to find out what's going on with the lanes. Always constantly changing, and you always have to be prepared.
Coming up next, live on Extra Frame, we'll have action in the semifinals of the high school boys division as the defending champion here, number 5, Zach Hattori, will face number 2 seeded Ryan Ventillo, and immediately followed by number 6 seed Tommy Genova, and he will face the number 1 overall seed for the boys, A.J. Johnson. So the action is just starting to heat up here in more ways than one at Vanderbilt Hall on Extra Frame, official streaming video service of the PBA. We're glad that you have joined us. 2-game, best-of-2 match. Elise Bolton wins 2. She advances to the championship match to face Gabriella Mayfield. If Rachel Vaughn can win this game, we'll have a sudden death roll-off for the privilege of advancing to the championship match. Getting some folks here that are checking out after that first game. So Elise stepping off. And now we'll begin game 2, Bolton up a game. Nine for Bolton, the medalist. 2 silver and 1 gold at the 2011 PAPCON tournament in the Dominican Republic. Young lady's been around the world bowling for Team USA in 10, 11, and 12. And she defeated Rachel Vaughn in game 1, 192-153. Winner advances to the championship match tomorrow, live on Extra Frame. No problem on the spare. Jason, what's Rachel got to do to steal this one?
Well, I think she knows she has to get out on top early, Michael. I think that she's also still looking here. She wants to know what she's going to do. I thought the last ball she threw in that first game was definitely the right spot. So I'm expecting this one to be in through the front of the lane a little deeper and a little more to the right.
Tried to get it out there, but not far enough.
I think this pattern is changing a lot quicker than it did in the bowling center, and their moves that they anticipated before happening quicker, and that's why they're a little bit slow on it.
Open frame, not what Vaughn wanted to start with. Chop.
These girls have been bowling for 3 days in bowling center on these patterns, and getting the move down and the predictability of it as the pattern breaks down, and now they've changed the entire variable on it. So I think after the winner of this match is going to have a big advantage going in, going to be bowling on the same circumstances tomorrow.
And Bolton comes up high, big 4.
That's just when you see them both doing that, then that's the pattern breaking and the lane and the friction point changing on the lane, and they're just it's going faster than it did before.
Without question, I don't think we've seen one of them go light other than the shot where Vaughn just happened to miss too far right and never hooked back.
But bad shot.
Yeah, I definitely think they're not chasing it quick enough.
Losing a pin and count there. 23 open for Bolton. Rachel Vaughn up. Doc, she is a winner of one of the Low Shedder tournaments.
Yes, Chris Low Shedder's parents run monthly tournament down in Florida. Scratch events. She bowls in them all the time. She's a great player. It is a great tournament if you're down in Florida.
Couldn't get the high flush, 4-pin high. But more importantly, a better path to the pocket.
That was a pretty good shot. We'll have to see how much she's able to repeat it on her next pitch, of how fast this lane changes.
You know, when I've been in the position where I bowled outdoors before, guys, and I know how much the lanes tend to break down in the heat and the extra light, you know, it literally is a 1-in-1 move just about every frame. And think about that. If you're bowling now, you're just bowling on one lane where it's breaking down twice as fast. So you could be making 2-to-1 moves, 2 with your feet, 1 with your eyes, pretty much every frame now.
Throw one shot if it goes flush, and then throw the next shot. You better be moving or you're through the face.
Third frame for Bolton after the open. Better pitch there, strike.
It's almost one of these situations where you want to line up half pocket. You want to line up light and be ahead of the breakdown.
Rachel likes to listen to a little Jay-Z and Rihanna. Wanted it to go, a little flat 10 though.
Looked like a lot better shot to me.
Yep.
kind of snug early going here, Michael, with only 5 pins difference.
That it is. With the spare, Vaughn would have a 5-pin lead. She's down a game, but it's the best of 2. If she can win this game, it'd be a roll-off to determine the championship match finalist. Spare for Vaughn, 5-pin lead, but Bolton up on a strike can take the lead with a strike of her own in the 4th. Bolton is 18. She likes to listen to T-Pain and Katy Perry. And Skrillex. You've got Skrillex in your iPod, don't you, Jason Couch?
I don't believe so, Michael. I'm a little behind in the times.
4th frame, double to take the lead, game 2. Hold, she says. Nope. 3-6-10, Doc. Not the easiest of things to do today.
No, add the 9-pin in there, it's almost impossible. It's like getting a double.
So Bolton there, chance to double and take the lead. Ball comes up high. Interesting concept, this best of 2. You're not immediately down and out with a bad game. You have a chance to come back, win, and get a roll-off to advance. Right on it. Nice spare conversion for Bolton. 43 through 3, spare up in the 4th. The big overhead scoreboard here at Vanderbilt Hall. Teen Masters banners in the air. Crystal chandeliers dot the Vanderbilt room here at Grand Central Terminal. You are looking live at Rachel Vaughn attempting to go 1-1 against Bolton and force a roll-off to make it to tomorrow's championship match to face Gabriella Mayfield.
And one of these two better start striking before tomorrow because the butcher can throw the strikes.
We met the butcher earlier, Gabriella Mayfield. A little movement or something happening down lane, and Rachel's going to reset. A lot of distractions as people are kind of getting up and down at times. And behind the players, we've got folks literally getting off a train, passing through Grand Central Station and heading right out onto 42nd Street. Turn right, and you're at Times Square. And we are right in the middle of it, and we are glad that you are right in the middle of it with us. As the fastest tournament director in PBA history, Kurt Von Kruger, sprinting to action to take care of an issue down lane. Looks like we're missing a pin.
It's in the gentleman's hand, isn't it?
Yeah.
Might be a jamming of the mechanism there. You see that little plexiglass that prevents the pins from flying around. Might be
Jason Thomas is in there too. That's the other bald head. Oh, maybe not.
Nope, is that Gary helping us out?
Somebody back there.
Oh yeah, just a little plexiglass adjustment happened.
Jason Thomas is mainly the IT gentleman, all right?
Yeah.
He's the guy with all the brains, so he's not back there working on the machine.
Key grip.
Jason's been doing everything else and dodging the security here at
We got some
Grand Central Terminal.
we got some info on what anything from the blueprint while we're waiting here. Yeah, Jason. Yeah. Oh, we even get Ron Hicklin on.
Yeah, absolutely. With this, what you're seeing here on your screen is actually what we call a randomized multi-shot simulation. What it does is it actually allows us to simulate the amount of strikes a person's going to be able to get based off of some input. We actually got some information from the players beforehand, and it kind of shows you, in this case, the percentage of non-pocket hits and the percentage of total pocket hits, kind of based on some information that we've gotten. We've given them only 11 shots. We're assuming kind of a 11-shot range here, and you can see, I mean, really the pocket hits are not going to be very high, and that's kind of indicative of what you're seeing on the lanes, actually.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And we had all the ball technology on there before about the layout. As far as with Rachel and Elise are throwing.
Yeah, this is Rachel's layout. You can see not only but how the ball's drilled. You can also see how the inertial planes are in the bowling ball, this is kind of neat because when you talk about a bowler's axis point and the axis migrating, one of the things that we know is that the axis migration will actually follow a plane. So what you're seeing here is you're seeing this yellow plane is where the axis is actually following. And what that does is that kind of determines, based on the layout, how the ball's going to roll.
Well, tell you what, Ron, we're going to get a powerhouse update with Jackie Bowling, who's going to go right down to the set tee and get us in on the action. Jackie, let's get some player reaction.
Girls, we have you down. We got a little bit of a delay here. How are you guys doing? You guys taking in all this heat and the pressure and everything okay?
Pretty good. That's just quieter than I thought it was going to be. Right now the voice is a problem.
Well, we're having some audio issues there, so that'll prevent us from having that powerhouse update, unfortunately. Dealing with the pin deck issue, and there's a look at your score. Elise Bolton defeated Rachel Vaughn 192 to 153 after one game, and we are in the middle of game 2, where Rachel Vaughn has come back with a 5-pin lead. Neither player has doubled here in game 2, this best of 2 game match. In the event of a 1-1 tie, we'd have a 1-ball sudden death roll-off to see who advances.
I'm waiting for our first one of them, Mike J.
And that will be exciting. And Doc, we just can't get the monkey off our back. Every time we think we have things under control, Grand Central Terminal has taken a chunk out of our posterior.
Grand Central Terminal has not been very cooperative to the Extra Frame crew so far. I will give you that. A lot of rules here, especially with the, what do they call it?
Homeland Security.
Homeland Security people. Had to go through our search and everything. They're very big on safety and egresses and things of that nature. And
that's of utmost importance. The security and safety of everyone in this terminal comes first. But unfortunately, in Game 1, it messed up with our camera angles a little bit.
I think our unfortunate thing in Game 1 is the fact that they tend to change their mind about 4 or 5 times after they make a decision, and that makes it rather difficult. So we kind of got pigeonholed a little bit, but we are trying to get you the best camera angles possible. But there are some rules here, and the optimum place to put a camera sometimes is not allowed. So we're working through it. And it looks like I think we got a broken piece of plexiglass down there. It's looking like what's going on. So
Actually, I think the bolt that holds the curtain up actually is broken.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why the pins, they won't stay down so the kids can pick them up.
So we're in a little bit of a delay here. We'll have to get tournament director Von Kruger to see if we're going to get some free shots here, because I know normal PBA rule. Of course, you would know this, Mr. Couch. How long before you get 2 shots on each lane?
Well, we don't have 2 lanes, but I'm going to. I believe it's around 5 minutes.
5 minutes. So,
Jason, you've been a veteran of this for God knows how many different reasons, and mechanical failures and power outages and different things. How does this play into the psyche when you're in a match or in a situation and you got to put the brakes on?
Well, if you felt like you had the momentum going, it certainly wants to wear on you a little more. If you felt like you were behind in the match and weren't real comfortable, you actually it's sort of like taking a time out, So I think it would help the person that may be struggling a little bit. But as a veteran player, you should know that, it is stopping both players, and it's just time to take a little bit of a break and not let it wear you down.
So if you've just joined us, you're watching live coverage on Extra Frame. This is the girls' high school division semifinals of the 2011 Teen Masters. In earlier competition today, Gabriella Mayfield defeated Melanie Hannon and has advanced to the championship match. And we bring Ron Hicklin, the professor, into the conversation with some great toys from Ebonite.
One of the interesting things here that you're being able to see, both players are throwing that Mission bowling ball, the Mission 2.0. This right here is a graph, the blue line is a graph of the Mission 2.0. And I said, well, what would happen if they threw their hard ball? Everybody's got a Mission, everybody's got a hard ball. If Rachel, for instance, was throwing the hard ball on the exact same line as her Mission, you can see here that she'd just take off the 10-pin. Not a very good reaction. So that's obviously one of the factors that these players took into account as they were warming up today, and you can tell that they obviously went with the right ball choice with going with that stronger Mission 2.0.
So we've got all the toys, and we continue to effect repairs on the plexiglass surrounding the pin deck. And we go to Jason Thomas, who's going to test the mic and offer his thoughts on setting up at Grand Central Terminal.
Let's go to Jason Bowling.
Okay. Hello? You guys, can you hear me? All right. Yes. I fixed the mic, but I think I'm going to be retiring after this event.
Yeah, this one's taken a couple of years off my life and added a couple of pounds to my waistline.
But it looks cool now that everything seems to be in place. It's looking pretty good. So hopefully we get this fixed.
You want to try
I'm going to give
Jackie the mic, and we'll go for round 2.
You guys can talk for a second while I
thanks, Jason.
No, yeah,
That's Jason Bowling.
Jason Bowling on his way over. We're going to go for round 2 of our attempted interview with the girls.
And now back over
hold
to...
on a second. He's got to get the camera ready.
Ah, all right.
Yeah, Jason's got to do it all.
Got to do it all. Time now for a Powerhouse Update with Jackie Bowling, JB.
And I am lane side with Miss Elise Bolton. Elise, tell us, okay, you got the first game under your belt. What's going on through your mind right now, especially during this break?
I was more nervous starting the second game than I was the first game. I guess because of winning, you feel, a little bit more pressure. It's really hot, so you're trying to deal with that. Like, you feel like sweat dripping down your face while you're bowling, so just something new to me. So just trying to take it all in.
All right. Well, how does it feel to be bowling in Grand Central Station right now? I know I tried to get all of your guys' opinion, but I didn't get yours yesterday. How are you feeling since you're in the amongst it right now and you're bowling? Tell me about what you're feeling.
I'm actually a little bit more calm than I thought I'd be. I don't know, I was expecting to be super nervous, and I'm actually not. So it's pretty exciting. All the people walking by and stuff. When you walk back, you see a new face than you saw like 2 seconds before. So it's pretty cool.
And you're half a match away, actually, from bowling tomorrow's finals against Gabriella Mayfield for $64,000 in scholarship money. What are your thoughts on that?
I just kind of have to finish this game first. Anything could happen. I don't really want to think about that until tomorrow. So that's what I'm trying to, I don't really want to think about it, That's what I'm trying to do.
All right. Well, you know what? Stay calm. Throw the ball. Do what you know. And good luck to you.
Thank you.
That's Jackie Bowling.
Oh, well, Rachel's back. I'm going to steal the floor for a little bit longer. We have Rachel. She was visiting with her mom. I understand she just came in by surprise this morning.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Turned around at the opening there, and she was standing there, and I was like, oh, didn't expect it.
Well, that's a very nice surprise. She's watching you bowling the semifinals against Miss Bolton here. Tell us what your plan is for the rest of this game.
Make good shots. Stop. I don't know. I'm thinking too much. You need to stop that. I don't know.
Stop thinking. Throw the ball. You know what to do, and we'll see what happens. Right? Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Powerhouse Equipment Training Coaching. For more information on the official PBA locker room supplier, visit powerhousebowling.com. Not to mention the new blueprint software that Mr. Hicklin has been demonstrating. Ron, show us what you know. Back to you guys.
It's Jackie Bowling calling you out, Mr. Hicklin, for the toys in the Blueprint program.
Hey, we're over here playing around with this Blueprint program. I'm going to show you something else that's kind of neat about it, actually. One of the things you can do is you can actually look at the bowling ball before it's drilled, and then you have the ability to actually go in, and we'll take Miss Bolton, for example. She's throwing that mission, as we said earlier. We'll be able to actually drill that bowling ball and watch and see how different the colors move around on the bowling ball. Those are what we call the inertial planes. They move around as you drill holes in the bowling ball. We actually have the ability also to actually put a hole in the bowling ball. So let's say that, as an example, you can see with this layout, her ball is actually illegal on side weight. It's got 1.35 ounces. So if we wanted to put a hole in her ball, say we wanted to go 5 inches over from her center of grip, 0 inches up, and we would use, let's use a 3/4 inch bit, and we'll go 2.5 inches deep with no pitch. We can actually drill that hole into the ball, and you'll watch over here as the colors will shift a little bit, the holes in the ball, and it will actually give you the side weight. So now we're actually legal on side weight. So one of the cool things about the program is you can actually, as we like to say with the program, you can see it before you drill it. gives you some really good opportunity to play around with layouts that you normally would be a little scary to play around with, actually.
And you were able to debut this software at the Ebonite New Product Showcase down at Bowl Expo. What was the reaction of Pro Shop operators and folks that potentially could get their hands on this great piece of software?
Well, I can tell you, Powerhouse brand manager Rich Hansen and a ball development engineer Jason Cosby were on hand doing a lot of the work for that. And I mean, it was overwhelming how many people were coming up and asking questions. You know, I was there helping them out as well. And I mean, every 5 minutes, people wanted to say, well, what about this and how does this work, and show me how that thing works. So there was a lot of excitement. There was a lot of enthusiasm about the product, and we sold quite a few copies of the program.
And where can I find information about this?
You can actually go to powerhousebowling.com. If you go to the website, there's actually a free demo where you can actually download one of our bowling balls and actually play around with the program a little bit yourself. It's a really good program. One of the interesting things is it's $4.99, and every time we come out with the bowling ball, we actually update the program. Now, what's interesting about the update is not only do we update the program, but we update it actually on the information release date, not the product release date. So as an example, let's say you want to know if the newest Ebonite ball coming out is good for you, you're going to get a 30-day advantage on being able to put that ball in the simulator and be able to see if it's going to roll well for you. You can actually simulate the ball motion and say, hey, you know what, this ball is good for me, or maybe I'll wait till the next one comes out.
Bowling Dr. Jeff Mark, bring you into the conversation. You've been through the wars over the years and delays, and I'm going to put you in the head of Mike Calderon at the moment, working with Elise Bolton. How do you work with a player and coach them through this?
I'll tell you what, you really have to get into their heads as to not let them get into the situation of, and you got to keep them loose. That's probably the biggest thing. Is most people will let their guard down and they relax, and then they get tight. Thumb holes aren't going to fit. It's so hot in here. Not that I've seen either one of these two girls do it, but they should have their hand in their ball right now, even swinging it a couple times to make sure their hands don't blow up. It's like I said, unforeseen things. We've dealt with it a bunch of times, and I guess until you deal with a player who has a 15 or 20 minute wait, and then they can't get their hand in the ball, and then they lose their feel. It's a really, really big issue. And also, depending on the age of your player, whatever, keeping their knees and their back and their shoulders, just staying loose is the main thing. So when you go out there, those first two shots you can also get quality information out of them, that they're not just like the first two shots of the day that are just painful, and you're trying to just get it down the lane any old way.
Well, you see the repairs being effected down at the pin deck with the new piece of plexiglass, and it is New York, so I suppose you could just walk out on 42nd Street and find a supplier of plexiglass.
Probably.
You can get anything in this town, 24 hours a day.
There's a live shot of the train station as we are in New York City. Some great work by our staff here at Extra Frame, doing the work. And
just behind us is the main Grand Central Terminal station. It's the largest in the world. 44 platforms, 67 tracks, and it looks like we've got that new piece of plexiglass there. This facility is on 2 levels, both below ground, 41 tracks on the upper level, 26 on the lower. And there's actually expansion coming. When the Long Island Railroad new station opens up here at 2016, Grand Central will offer a total of 75 tracks and 48 platforms.
all right, looks like we're going to get going here in a second.
Probably going to give the girls a couple practice shots.
Yeah. Oh.
So they are in the process of testing the new piece of plexiglass. And once we are satisfied with that, we'll resume this match. I'm assuming that we're going to get a couple of practice shots here.
Yeah, I would say they'll probably give him at least 2 to 3 shots.
Recap of this match: Elise Bolton took game 1, 192 to 153. We're currently in the 4th frame. Elise Bolton 43 through 3 with a spare up. Rachel Vaughn 28 through 2 with a spare up. That means a 5-pin lead for Rachel Vaughn as she'll now get up and get a chance to loosen up the arm swing.
Jackie Bolton, tell Jason to have Matt start shooting.
One more practice shot, Jason, we will continue this match. And it looks like we're back in operation, so a couple practice shots, and we'll have both of these ladies return to action. And a reminder that coming up, we've got semifinal action in the high school boys division. Number 5 seeded defending champion Zach Hattori will take on the number 2 seed Ryan Ventillo. In the second semifinal matchup, number 6 seeded Tommy Genova is getting ready to face the number 1 seed overall AJ Johnson. That's all live coming up next on Extra Frame. Mike J. Laneside with the bowling doctor Jeff Mark, who happens to be sitting in the most important chair in bowling.
Ah, yes, Mike J. That's because it's mine.
Also joined by 16-time PBA Tour champ Jason Couch and the professor Ron Hickland. All right, tournament director Kirk Von Kruger says, let's go bowling. Come on, let's have some fun. Back in the match, 4th frame, +5 for Vaughn. She needs this game to force a roll-off to determine who goes to the championship. How about that for the long layoff?
Not a bad shot at all for taking about 10 or 15 minutes off, and that's what she has to do to apply some pressure.
Yep. Probably for her, probably the best thing, the way she was saying she felt, and that she was rushing and trying too hard or whatever. She got a chance to regroup, rethink, and a couple practice shots on top of it to get lined in, and best thing that probably could happen to Rachel.
So Bolt now up 5th frame, working on a spare, trails by 5. She's up a game, though, in the best of 2-game match.
You know, watching that shot right there, Doc, I would make a 1-and-1 or a 2-and-1 move off that shot.
Yeah.
Stay ahead of the curve.
Looking for the first double here in game 2. Rachel Vaughn has the first opportunity to go for it. She's got a 5-pin lead, can extend her lead to 15. Needs this game to force a roll-off. Chased it. Mix, yes, double for Rachel Vaughn. Trust is a must, bowling doctor.
Absolutely. Great shot. And you can see she moved off of it and it went light. And that was the adjustment as they are adjusting and anticipating these lanes breaking down.
Best 2 shots she's thrown to the match.
Yep.
Bolton strike up. Are we seeing the tide turn? High for Bolton. Vaughn in command here, game 2. In the event of a 1-1 tie in this best of 2 format, there would be a sudden death to determine who goes to the championship match. Girls High School Division semifinals here at Vanderbilt Hall at Grand Central Terminal.
She's been money on that 3-6-10 today.
Yep. And that is a tough spare.
That it is.
Take a look at the shifting faces of passersby and commuters going through Grand Central, checking out this 2011 Teen Masters.
So these girls are doing a great job, Mike J. There's a lot of distractions going on in here.
Focusing on a matter at hand, looking to Turkey. That one got away. And a baby split to contend with.
This could be a turning point in the match if she doesn't convert.
Yes.
Great shot.
Confident
Solid.
stroke. Great
Solid.
shot. Spare split conversion for Rachel Vaughn. She's up 13. We now enter the 7th frame. Elise Bolton up 1 game. Best of 2 format. Working on a spare, 83 through 5. Spare up in the 6th, now working in the 7th. That comes up high. Another 3-6 combo.
She is not anticipating the lane breakdown at all.
She better do something quick because just off that one errant shot, you know, from Rachel, she looked fairly solidly lined up the 2 shots before that. Best shots of the match. Needs to make the spare to stay within 15 pins.
Spare for Bolton.
That was interesting. That was a little close.
Never a doubt, Doctor.
No, never a doubt. Never a doubt.
16-year-old Rachel Vaughn, junior at St. Lucie West Centennial High School. Plans on graduating next year, looking at potential Robert Morris, McKendree, Lindenwood, or Vanderbilt as potential colleges. Jason.
Knocks down the
God.
Putting the pressure on Bolton. Will we see our first roll-off at Grand Central Terminal? That's what happens if we go 1-1 in this best of 2. Bolton has competed around the world, and now in the Big Apple.
Great shot. Finally made the move, but she's got to move again. That was almost a 4-pin. The crowd is just bustling, Michael, as they're watching the bowling going by.
It is. There's a lot of people there. They're lined up 6 deep behind the players as fans are craning their necks to take a look at the action. Now Rachel Vaughn's strike up can extend her lead here in game 2. She needs this game. That one skated just a bit through.
You know what? I'd deal with that. I would deal with that all day long. Be aggressive and be ahead of the move. You're better off being light than you are playing through the face.
A lot more bad things can happen going through the head pin.
Absolutely.
So she's out of strike, so no pin count loss there. So with a conversion, maintaining a 15-pin lead. Confident shot, spare for Vaughn. So the girls dealing with a couple flash photography. Kirk Von Kruger imploring the crowd to pop the flashes off. Bolton now up. Strike up can cut the lead to 5. 9th frame. And another 3-6-10. Keep petting the dog, and the dog may come back and bite.
That is correct, Michael, and I think she actually made the right move that time, but she looked awful frustrated with herself at the line that she didn't make a very good shot.
So Bolton, another tough spare, cross lane at the 3-6-10. Looking to shut out Vaughn and advance to the championship match. That'll happen live here tomorrow. Gabriella Mayfield has already punched her ticket for the final. 6 into the 10, spare for Bolton.
I'll tell you one thing, Jason. You don't want to keep shooting that spare.
No, sir.
You know what? I mean, it is just a matter of time before you miss that.
You're right. It's law of averages.
It doesn't matter how good you are. Sooner or later, it's going to come back and bite you.
So Vaughn, last 2 shots, flush strike, and then she sailed wide on the head pin. Let's see which arm swing comes next. 9th frame.
It's going Brooke. Pressure starting to get to both the ladies now.
Yep.
Getting late in the game.
Vaughn needs to win this to force the roll-off. In that event, Elise Bolton, the higher seed, would choose who goes first. Single ball, sudden death. Spare for Vaughn. Bolton now up in the 10th frame. She puts a double on the board. Should force a mark out of Vaughn in the 10th. 191 is the best Elise can do if she strikes out here. That coming up high again. 6-pin that time only. .180 now, the best Bolton can do. 9 out for Vaughn would give her 183. Do you think ahead already to potential roll-off type situations if you're Elise Bolton?
I'll tell you what, she better make a big move on this fill shot and take a sniff at doing something, even if she misses the head pin right. But if she goes light, 2-8-10, the move back to the pocket or the read to the pocket is blatantly obvious. Throw one more through the face. Oh, that's costly.
So now Vaughn just needs 5 pins to force the roll-off. But a couple of sniffs here for Rachel Vaughn. First, get the game and then get the info.
That's a big loss info right there, Jason.
Oh, without question.
Ooh.
It's just a mental mistake on her part as well with the experience she has.
And really, at this point now, it frees Vaughn up.
I don't even shoot the spare here.
No.
I make sure I've got the pocket right here.
I was going to say, this should, and she's not going to do that, but this should be just throw a strike ball, and if you line in and it's a perfect strike ball, you make this.
So Elise Bolton already trying to figure out, will she go first or second?
And
that's the problem of not throwing it right then.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter if you miss it. Get the info missing it at least. So 2 really, really bad info in the 10th frame on both of them. It could have been a huge advantage for Vaughn to just dead shoot a strike ball there.
So we've got our first sudden death roll-off. 1 ball will decide who goes to the championship match. The decision is Elise Bolton's. Jason Couch, you're the top seed. Do you go first or second in this circumstance?
She's not lined up at all, so I would probably let the other one go second and then or to lead off. And if she strikes, you know you have to make a really large move.
Bowling Doctor, where do you rest in this situation?
Yeah, it's kind of 50-50 here. Rachel Vaughn probably hasn't been in this situation as many times as Elise has, so you could think of go up and pack one good and take your chances, hope you get 9, and put the pressure on her to strike, because at that point it might be 7 because she'll overpush it.
Well, once again, we're over. Elise is going first.
And that's probably the thought process there is, you know what, I'm going to throw one good and put it on her to match it or do better.
So this is it. 1 ball sudden death roll-off. If we tie, we keep going. The winner advances to the championship match. Bolton elects to go first.
Got to tell you, Bowling Doctor, every shot was through the face. The last 4 shots for her. If it's me, I'm keeping my eyes in the same spot, moving my feet 4 left. If I fly by, I fly by.
Yeah, in her situation, how bad she was lined in, I probably would have let Vaughn go to just put her in the most pressure and hope she throws a bad one, and then I could just chuck it at the head pin. And that's what she did. Exactly what you said, Jay.
Yep.
Aggressive move. And now you just made it easy on Vaughn.
Right.
Going with the mission.
8 or better, Rachel Vaughn will advance to bowl tomorrow.
Vanderbilt Hall falls silent. Rachel Vaughn 1 shot away, 8 pins or better. She advances. Sudden death. 8 it is. Rachel Vaughn advances to the championship match. Let's get a reaction from the powerhouse, Jackie Bowling.
In sudden death, Rachel Vaughn over Elise.
Go ahead, Jackie.
And we have this match is advanced. Rachel Vaughn, you have just advanced to the finals tomorrow. How are you feeling?
I
don't know. Nervous, ready to do it. I'm tired though. I want to break.
On a break. Well, you did fantastic today. Fantastic. You pulled through sudden death. Your mom's here. This is a great day for you.
Thanks.
Okay. That is your powerhouse report, guys. Back to you.
Nice going, Jackie. That's some genuine emotion. The tears are flowing for Rachel Vaughn, and she advances in our first sudden death of the championship match of the girls' high school division. And take a look at this great venue at Vanderbilt Hall as we'll get a changeover and we'll recondition the lanes for the boys' high school semifinal match coming up next. Bowling Doctor, our first matchup coming up will be Zach Hattori against Ryan Ventillo. You can see it all live here on Extra Frame. But what a great matchup as Vaughn comes back from 1 down to get the game and the roll-off.
Tremendous match, and grind the whole way, and it was tough on the longer pattern.
Bolton elects to go first.
Yeah, I didn't like that decision at all. Just her being lost the whole time and not really having a clue. You know, I mean, on the flip side of that, you could say, yes, she didn't go through the face again, but I just let the other one go up there, and if she throws 8, then, you know, you have a decision to make and what you want to do. But she's young. I mean, you know, she's got some experience, but through the next few tournaments, she'll learn more, and hopefully she learns from what happened today.
Wow. Our first roll-off, and we have our championship match lined up for the girls' high school division. It will be Gabriella Mayfield versus Rachel Vaughn tomorrow live on Extra Frame. Coming up next on Extra Frame, it's action in the boys' high school division semifinals. Join us in just a few minutes. We'll keep the stream rolling, and we will return to Vanderbilt Hall for producer Jason Thomas, the powerhouse Jackie Bowling, and the bowling doctor Jeff Mark sitting in the most important chair in bowling.
That's because it's mine, Mike J.
PBA Tour champ Jason Couch and the professor Ron Hicklin will join us. It's Mike J. Laneside. We'll see you back here in New York City.
My teenage heart pumped all my misery, baby. you for. You know I